the former Liberal, now independent member and candidate, of course, in the seat of Frankston, one of the key seats we're watching tonight. Geoff Shaw, thanks for joining us tonight. What are your thoughts on whether you're actually going to hold this seat tonight?
Look, I don't know. It's a marginal seat, but people have been sick of the big parties, the big boys, and I've competed against the big boys today and for the last 4 years.
Yeah, well, you're preferencing, as I understand it, the Liberals. Why have you decided to do that? Are you essentially a Liberal independent? Is that the right characterisation, or am I pigeonholing you wrong?
Well, no, you're completely incorrect there. But the way I ranked it was myself first, because I think I'm the best for Frankston. Second was Liberals, because they've promised a fair bit for Frankston. Third, I put Labor. Now, the reason I put the Liberals number 2 is because they basically put me number 3 on their how to vote card, and Labor put me well down the list. In fact, they put me below the Liberals. So I think that shows a disrespect for the people of Frankston, the Labor Party, where they put as a second preference an independent who's done nothing in the area. He doesn't vote, the second independent, who they preference second. I think it shows Labor has shown a complete disrespect for Frankston, and it's appalling that for the people of Frankston. All
right. Well, if your preference then, according to the way you're suggesting voters allocate their votes, is for a Liberal government to get up statewide tonight, do you accept any responsibility, any blame for putting them in the situation where they're in real danger tonight of being a one-term government?
Well, if you seriously are suggesting that one person is able to do that, what you're saying is that the other 40-odd members of the Liberal or coalition government have been completely incompetent in their jobs, that they haven't been able to convince their own electorate about the good things that they've done, and they've just concentrated on me. I think it's ludicrous to suggest that. And I'm sure the Liberal Party would suggest that they're a little bit bigger than that as well.
Geoff Shaw, it was you that actually, caused all the fuss that meant that Ted Baillieu lost the leadership, the premiership. Do you take responsibility for that act, and do you think that's what we're seeing the consequences of now?
Well, I think Ted's a big boy. He's been around for a long time. He resigned himself. I wasn't around when he resigned. I resigned. It was completely my choice.
You lost confidence in the Premier.
So did most people of Victoria.
I'm wondering why you decided to run, given you know that it's pretty unlikely that you're going to win this seat. Is this some sort of, effort to get some personal vindication for the struggles that you've had in the last term?
No, I don't really accept that question. I mean, I've been in Frankston longer than any of these people, and the Liberal candidate just moved back into Frankston. The Labor candidate doesn't even live in Frankston. So I think I'm the best candidate for Frankston. I've lived there. The results are on the board, and that's what I've done.
Well, Geoff Shaw, finally, what is your pitch, what has been your pitch over the campaign for the people of Frankston? What are you offering that the major parties aren't?
Well, on my how to vote card, what I did mention is that I'm for the people, not for the party. So what you're getting with myself is someone who, through the 4 years, has shown that I don't just I stick up for Frankston and my electorate. I don't toe the party line, and that's something different that the others don't. There's a lot of people on both sides of politics who voice an opinion privately, but when it comes to the vote, they just go down party lines. I think that's quite gutless, and I don't think that's doing right by their electorate or the people of Victoria. I chose to stand up, and by me standing up, the two parties didn't like that, a third voice in Parliament, and they've been after me ever since.
Geoff Shaw, who's going to win tonight and by how many?
Look, I was really, to be honest, just concentrating on Frankston. I wasn't too fussed about what the others were doing around the state. Look, I really think that the Liberal Party's done nothing bad to lose, and definitely Labor Party's done nothing good to win. So I would think that the people of Victoria should think that that the Liberal Party should be in. But it's a choice of two. It's a choice of two very poor leaders.
Geoff Shaw, thanks for joining us tonight, and wish you well for the rest of tonight and what comes next.